Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome to another exciting episode of Quitting Marijuana Through Secular Means. Now, you may have noticed that the titles of my videos have changed. I am no longer going by the title Quitting Marijuana Through Secular Means. I have decided to use an even more powerful title, Overcoming Addiction Through Secular Means. Sure, my main battle is with marijuana, but I've had experience with multiple drugs, so I can safely say that I have overcome addiction through secular means. Now, on today's topic, I want to talk once again about withdrawing from drugs and the detoxification process. If you want to overcome addiction and be a successful person in life, you have to eventually go through the detoxification process. You're going to experience withdrawals, no matter what. All the mistakes that you've made in the past have finally caught up with you, and now you have to take responsibility for them. You're going to have to face one of the toughest challenges known to mankind, and that is going through withdrawals. Overcoming addiction will be one of the greatest things you've ever accomplished in your life, and you can do it all on your own. You don't need some kind of mystical being, or you don't need to join some type of cult in order to overcome this. I'm going to go ahead and share with you a very personal story, something that happened to me last night as my withdrawal symptoms were peaking. My heart rate went all the way up to 130 beats per minute, which is actually very unsafe. What I did in order to control my heart rate was I ended up chewing an aspirin, which is 325 milligrams per pill. Now, I'm definitely not a doctor, but the last time that I went to the emergency room, one of the paramedics gave me an aspirin to chew, and I did a bit of research, and it turns out that this can possibly save your life if you're ever experiencing a heart attack. So today I was in the area at my local Walmart, and I started experiencing withdrawals. And I decided to incorporate one of my techniques, which is the conversation, in order to overcome withdrawals. I was feeling very sick, very lightheaded. I could barely walk. My legs felt like gummy. I went over to my pharmacist, just to spark up a conversation. And I actually used to work at the Walmart that I frequent. A piece of advice that she gave me is that not to pop an aspirin every time that you're feeling withdrawal symptoms or any time that you're in a state of panic. She recommends only taking an aspirin whenever you're in a very dire situation and your heart rate is at 130 beats per minute. I'm going to go ahead and share with you an old video of what occurred to me last night. It's actually now all I can do is sit back and laugh, but it's actually kind of funny. Here it goes. Hold on. What time is it? Okay. 10:42 p.m. My heartbeat spiked to 130 beats per minute. I felt like I was gonna pass out. I'm going through withdrawals right now. This little device checks my heart rate. Anything higher than 100 or 120 is dangerous. This here checks your oxygen levels in your blood. I chewed a aspirin. You want, if you're a heavy guy, you want to get 325 milligrams of aspirin, and I'm about to drink a lemon ginger tea. I think what triggered the panic and the withdrawals was that I drank a whole Dr. Pepper, and I had Chinese food really late at night, and I was really excited, and I think that's what triggered my withdrawal. Right? And so, as you can see in the video, I'm kind of in a little state of shock, because at that moment it felt like my heart was about to stop beating. Not that I'm afraid to die or anything, it's just that I feel like I have too much to lose. Now, I've come so far in life, and I'm doing really great right now, and that's one of the reasons I don't want to escape my reality anymore. Now, in the video I just showed you, you might have noticed that I use one of these little devices here. Uh, yeah, I recommend you get you one of these. So what it does is that it's got two readings, as you can see. One of them tells you your heart rate, and the other one tells you the oxygen levels in your blood. Now, usually your oxygen level should be at around 99 or 100, and a good resting heart rate is anywhere between 60 or 100 beats per minute. So I recommend you guys get one of these little devices. I'm really not sure how much they cost. I got this one for free because, for a while I was my friend's nurse. Well, I was sort of like a nurse, an unofficial, unlicensed nurse, so to speak. So we're living in a void. We're living in an empty vacuum right now, and I feel why not make the best of it? And the only way that you're gonna have a high quality life is if you overcome addiction, is if you're completely autonomous and you don't rely on any substance. It's sort of like that scene in the first Superman movie with Christopher Reeve, where Lois is falling off a building and Superman saves her, and Lois asks Superman, "Who's got you?" Well, the answer is nobody. Nobody needs to get me. I am Superman. I'm self-reliant. I don't require strings or a crane or anything to defy gravity. And that's the type of mentality you need to have when you're facing everyday problems. See, the problem with drugs like marijuana is that they wrap your brain in warm blankets and they make you feel comfortable, but at what expense, at what cost? I mean, are you going to continue gambling with your health and continue consuming psychedelics and the crude combustion of smoke, which the body is obviously not suitable for that? In the research I've done, I've learned that back in the day, cigarettes weren't taken very seriously. In fact, doctors used to smoke cigarettes while they were performing surgeries. And sometimes doctors would even prescribe cigarettes as well. But if you guys want to stick with that old-fashioned, ancient mentality, then go right ahead and continue filling your lungs up with smoke. I personally live in the year 2025, where we have enough information and we can progress and move on from all that. So if you guys want to stick with the caveman and live in a cave and read books by candlelight, ancient books like the Bible, go ahead. But I'm a modern man, and I go by facts and not fiction. In my sobriety journey, I've come to learn that reality is actually a lot more interesting than fiction. Just reality itself has become so intriguing to me. It feels like life is an actual trip, and being successful and accomplishing things gives me an even greater high than I've ever even imagined. It's a lot more rewarding to actually bond with people and accomplish your goals and get tasks done. It's bad enough that we're only using very little or actual brain activity in order to witness reality, but drugs even make it even worse, and they dull the senses and they distort reality. So even though a perfectly healthy human being can only witness so much of reality, imagine what a drug addict would go through. And not only that, what's bad is that we only have such limited amount of time here on Earth, and drugs will shorten your life expectancy even more. They'll make your time on this planet even shorter. Another thing I wanted to talk about was dreams. Like, dreams have always been so mysterious to me, and I'm going to tell you, when you quit using drugs, your dreams are going to be even more intense and profound in ways you've never even imagined. I'm not gonna share my personal dreams with you. I will share one dream with you. I had this very strange dream where I was on some kind of train or a trolley, and I was surrounded by actual live Simpsons characters. I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with the fact that I was having a Simpsons marathon. You know, I was watching all 10 seasons uh, back and forth. Now, I don't want you to feel discouraged about quitting drugs. It takes a while. I personally, I've been on this for 2 years now, and this is the third time that I've quit. I've relapsed twice, but every time I've quit, I've gone 6 months without it. In my previous videos, I explained to you how the first time I've quit, I tried quitting. I used a faith-based process, which ended up backfiring on me, and it ended up making me even more miserable. I have a theory that the only way to overcome addiction is through secular means. It is through non-religious means. Because why is it that if faith is so successful, why is it that everywhere you go we see homeless drug addicts missing teeth, and we have a drug problem? There is no denying that drugs have completely infiltrated the American culture. Sure, in other countries, certain drugs may be legal, but those are those places, and reality is completely subjective. I want to focus on the now, on the present moment, and where we currently live. I personally feel that the only way for society to progress is to abandon ancient thoughts and to embrace free thinking and to overcome addiction. That's the only way we're going to move on. If we continue living like our ancestors, like the people in the past who would appeal to authority and just believe without questioning, we're only repeating the ignorance of that time. I mean, sure, our ancestors used to do all kinds of crazy shit, like such as smoking, but do we really have to go on and continue living like that? You know, I really hope that I'm getting across to some of you, and I hope to hear from more of you. I wouldn't mind having some feedback. Any type of feedback is accepted, whether it be negative or positive. I love hearing both sides of the story. And guys, I just want to let you know I'm barely getting warmed up, and so are you. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave you with that. And I hope tomorrow that you have a wonderful day, and I hope you overcome your addiction. I really do, and I know you'll get better. Take care. Peace.